Wisconsin this weekend. That was a pretty competitive series at Madison earlier this year. That win you guys had on Saturday, we were able to, battle in the third period and pull out the win. What do you still remember about that third period? What was so key that day? What did your team do so well?
Oh, the whole game, really, from Friday to Saturday, just making some key adjustments, being a lot tougher to play against, which is in our DNA, so that should always be happening. Tougher to play against. I thought our players did a great job finding ways to score. It's hard to score in our league, but we found ways to do it, and I think being hungry around the ozone net, putting pucks on net, seeing what happens, being there to bury rebounds. I think just gutsy performances are critical against especially these top teams, whether it's blocking shots, eating pucks on the walls at the right time, getting the lines. Little habits make a huge difference. So I remember that, and I remember a heck of a celebration in the locker room.
Hannah Baskin, I thought it was funny. We were talking on the podcast with her. I don't know if you got to listen to that.
I need Liv and Baskey. I'm every week.
Lou listened to that episode.
Yes, I know. She tells me about the podcast. Still.
She's not happy about us bagging on her, but that's all right. Told her that's how we keep her listening. We thought Hannah Plink's defenseman of the week.
Yep.
She scores the goals.
Yep.
This week, she was a true defenseman. What was it, Kelly, you had? She had 9 block shots against the Buckeyes. How have you seen Hannah kind of become this well-rounded defenseman? And again, I find it interesting she wins defender of the week when she scores goals, not when she gets 9 goals.
I know. I see what you're getting at. I think just being a complete defenseman is what we want in everybody. I think for every player, offensively, you want to be a 200-foot player. You want to be dynamic offensively. Defensively, we want to be structurally sound and good defensively, but we want you to get up in the action and create from the blue line. So I think there are a lot of expectations on players as the game evolves. And I think to be able to do it on both sides, to be able to block those shots, which she has been blocking a lot of shots consistently. Those numbers, our whole team last weekend, I think I counted 49 total block shots on the weekend, which is incredible. So I think it's really impressive to see, but she has been doing that consistently, and her offensive game has been consistently good. Obviously a breakout performance there against Bemidji, but the more ice time she's gotten this year, getting a regular shift, and just growing and maturing in our program, I think you're getting to see what kind of player she is. So.
She's one of those players that's really, we talked about at the beginning of the season, players stepping out of the shadows and seizing the moment.
Yeah.
She's done that, hasn't she?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the exciting part of this season is, we talk about all the players that graduated, but how about the players that have really stepped up to put us in the position that we're in, trying to chase down a national championship, trying to get in the NCAA tournament, all of those same things that we've talked about for the past several years. And it's because of the people doing what they've been doing consistently and developing the right way, but it's also because of some of these breakthrough players.
All healthy going into.
Hi, John.
Nice to see Davis, who's still out long term, right?
We have some things going on.
Some things going on.
Yeah.
After blocking 49 shots, I would ask if everyone you have your lineups out or something like that.
No, they're good. Not block shot stuff,
Not
but we
block
have
shot.
day to day. The rosters. It's that time of year. Everybody's rosters are in flux, so we just see what we have that day and go with it. And that's, I think, really important for our team as we go on with the stretch of the season here is, every weekend feels like playoff hockey. And just being adaptable to who's in the lineup, who's on your wing, who's your center, who your D partner might be is important because it's a physical game, and these are the things that we deal with.
Offensively, before the year, we were talking about Manon and Clara repeating really good years last year, Reese coming in and contributing offensively. But how important, especially in series like last weekend's and this weekend's against top-tier opponents, is the secondary scoring that you've seen really develop through the last maybe 4 or 5 series with some of those second, third-line players contributing?
Yeah, huge. Back to that Wisconsin series. I know GK and Clara, Manon, scored off of somebody's rebound, but Jenna and Bergs on our third line also got a big goal for us. I think they got the third one, which might have been the game winner. Don't quote me on all that, but yeah, the depth in that secondary scoring, whether it's from offense or defense. You know, I think Ida Carlson had 3 assists in that Wisconsin win as well. So really important that we get that, and it could be from the back end. You know, our teams have always generated from the back end too, so we're going to continue to need that as we go here.
Goaltending wise, we're reaching the point in the season where traditionally coaches have wanted to pick one and go with, you know, either the one that's been playing well or the hot goalie. Now in the NHL even, we've seen teams want that 1-2 combo, which you have this year. Do you have a preference, or is that an adaptation that you have to make as a coach, going from Emma and just penciling her in every night to now making a decision between the two that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to have a decision to make. I think a lot of coaches might want to be able to have a decision to make and not. So I think we're in a really good spot that we have 2 high-level goaltenders that are competing their butts off every weekend for us and giving us a chance to win. So again, I feel fortunate. It's a nice spot to be in my opinion.
I talked to Haley last week, and she just said one of the things she wanted to improve the most in is her confidence in that. How have you seen that kind of grow so far this season?
Oh yeah, it's skyrocketed, I think, and we've talked about it several times here, the way that her fitness is, and the way, if you watch her in there, if any of you get a chance to go in there, our players, our captains tell us about it all the time. You know, she's one of the most fit players on our team. That doesn't often happen with goaltenders. I can guarantee that. So I think that level of fitness, whether she comes in from September, whether she comes in from December break, gives her a leg up and makes her feel prepared. And I think confidence comes from preparation and experience. And now she's getting that experience. She's played the big dogs. She knows what it's like. So I think it's just skyrocketed this year, and we're really excited about it.
Kind of touched on it earlier, but what were some things from that last Wisconsin series that could help you again this time around as you see this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago, too. I think more like, what did we do on Saturday that we want to do today and we want to get better at for this weekend? So for us, it's playing really good, structured defense, you know, and defense is whenever we don't have the puck. So a good forecheck in the O zone, good forecheck in the neutral zone, tracking back checking, getting into our D zone structure, and then working and reading off of each other. Wisconsin's a really dynamic offense, so they're not just going to pass it around on the perimeter. They're going to move, they're going to create. So we need to have our heads on a swivel, and we need to be communicating. I think physicality has always been part of our bread and butter. That's going to be important this weekend. And physicality, smart physical, not trying to take a bunch of penalties, but making sure that we're establishing ourselves out there wherever we can. And I think, you know, catching teams in transition, catching teams making mistakes, maybe overly aggressive on the blue line, and we pop pucks past them, and we create offense that way, whether it's on entry, odd man rushes, you know, however we can. So that's what we're looking for this weekend. I think we got better just from a game perspective, in game, the game within the game, how to hem teams in, how to figure out how to play against really fast teams. I thought we did a lot of things last weekend that made that game on Saturday what it was, which was, you know, one of the best games of the year, I think.
Can you guys use the adjustments you made against Ohio State Saturday going forward, looking at Wisconsin? I don't remember exactly if they're quite the same, but do those adjustments apply this weekend then?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I mean. Yes, Wisconsin, the games that we played in November, it's important to, you know what their forecheck is and what they're trying to do, but it's about us. You know, the more we can focus on us and our style and our structure and our habits and those adjustments we were able to make, I think that's when we're better. So that's what we're focused on.
You highlighted that Saturday game and how impressed you were by that, despite the score.
Mhm.
What did you tell your team there?
It was a positive message at the end of the game. I think, that's the number one team in the country by far, right? Colgate maybe, but they've been number one for a long time. And we went into their barn, which is traditionally a really hard place to play. And I thought we played a really, really good game, especially the second half of Saturday. And we showed what we're capable of. I think, when you have the gutsy part of it, which was going on all weekend, that's all heart, that's passion, that's wanting to do it for the people that sit around you in the locker room when you're blocking shots like that. And, we had shifts that were 2 minutes long and kids still, we weren't giving up goals, and our goaltending was tremendous, but I think it just says a lot about our heart and how badly we want this. And so, take away a couple mistakes over the course of the weekend and I think we would have had, better results. But having said that, I thought what we did there was pretty impressive, and if that's the number one team and we're number 7, I say we're right where we need to be. Yes. I love that event.
What does it mean to you and the players when you get the kids, whether it's the icebreaker event or this event, to look around and see kids in the rink and getting to see the product that you're putting out?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, they're our biggest fans. It's the youth that comes to the women's games and their parents and some longtime supporters. But it's the little girls, little boys that fill up the stands at our games that give us energy. I mean, our tunnel is very popular. And nowadays they want sticks, not just pucks or little signatures on T-shirts. It's awesome. It's awesome, and I think our players really feel that responsibility for being good role models to them, and they go above and beyond to spend time with our youth when they're here. And I hear from many people, I get emails and different things about how great our players are after the games, win, lose, or draw, after the game, spending time with kids, and that's really important to us. That's what our culture is all about.
Do you anticipate a certain Blake to make a running debut on Saturday?
Well, I was thinking about it, but I'm a little worried she might get trampled. I know, but is there a 2 range? That's
4 and under.
4 and under. See,
You
there's
can run with them.
oh, pre-game I'll get up there and or Shelby. Yeah, okay, okay, good to know. She might need to clear a little area. 4 and 2, right, Matt? It's a big difference. Oh, she can run, but
We'll take care of it. Yeah, we'll protect her.
okay.
You can set her up with a helmet.
We'll put her in a non-contact jersey.
She's running with Kelly's goals.
Right? Yeah. That's a different age range. Yeah.
We'll keep her out of the balance bike races.
Okay. Good.
Those
Good.
are new this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we chatted once,
That's awesome.
We're good?
Thanks, guys.
Carol, what stood out to you about that last game against Wisconsin, especially that third period on Saturday, where you guys were trading goals with them? I should say, they were chasing you guys for most
Yeah.
of the period in the goals after you took that 2-0 lead.
Are you talking about the Wisconsin
The
game?
Wisconsin game, yeah.
Okay.
I remember from back in December on that game.
Okay,
Saturday.
yeah.
Not Saturday against the Buckeyes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was a great game. I feel like that game against Wisconsin was very similar to how we played against Ohio State this past weekend. In that second game, we were playing as a team, doing it for each other, like just small things like taking short shifts, keeping the lines moving, getting lines, getting pucks deep, stuff like that is what we do really well when we play really well. So that's what was special on that win. I think another thing that stands out to me is Coach mentioned the goals by 3 different lines, but they were all scored in very similar ways, pass-off pads, which is something that the coaches had talked about to us in video before. So it was really cool to see us implement exactly what the coaches told us to do, and it actually worked, crazy enough. Yeah.
You're so experienced at these press conferences now. Go up there and start praising Coach.
Yeah. Hear that, Coach?
Saturday against Wisconsin, Saturday against Ohio State. Like, how different are those periods as a player? Because I was watching the Saturday third period, and I'll preface the video is I don't know how you scout do that because it's like out of focus and through netting and just horrible. But like the Wisconsin game, you guys take that 2-0 lead, start trading goals, 5 goals, or anything was in the third period. The Ohio State game, both teams are just grinding and can't get a goal. Like, what's the mentality like? What's it like? 2 different type of third periods like that when you're in a kind of a shootout versus a defensive battle. Does your mindset change or anything? Is there a different feeling at all? Or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously there's going to be like more ups and downs when so many goals are happening. Like, you have to kind of focus on recentering yourself, like going into the next shift. But obviously there's moments when we got super close to scoring where you have to do a similar thing, or where they maybe hit a post and you were like, oh my gosh, that was a second away from going in. So I feel like it's a similar feeling. And you're doing the same thing, so I really don't see much of a difference.
Still the same kind of roller coasters as you're saying, even the score.
Yeah. Whether it's like you're feeling frustrations from them getting a lot of goals on you, or if you're feeling frustrations from not being able to score, like, you're facing similar challenges.
So as important as it is to play really good team defense and stop the other team, wouldn't it be kind of fun to play a wide open run and gun game for a team?
And score a lot of goals, you mean? Yeah, I would love that personally. But, I mean, I feel like WCHA hockey is very defensive. It's grinding, and teams are so good at defense, and the goalies are so good that, I mean, this is fun hockey too. Obviously, we need to score this weekend. We didn't get a single goal last weekend, which is a hard thing, especially for the forwards. So that's going to be our focus for this week, on producing more offensively.
How much does a series like that, though, help motivate you for coming back against Wisconsin, knowing that you could skate so close with Ohio State then?
Yeah, it obviously gives us a lot of hope. Like Coach said, I think they're by far the #1 team in the nation. So just pushing them to their brink gives us a lot of hope for what we're capable of. And if we keep playing at that same level, which we plan to do, like, we're going to be unstoppable, which is fun.
How have you guys maybe seen yourselves grow since that last Wisconsin series, and then maybe same with the Badgers? What are you focusing on for them this weekend?
Like I said, just being more offensive minded. I think we were super, super good on defense, so obviously carrying that over, but now just kind of flipping the mindset, like, we want to take it to them and kind of set the pace early on.
For you individually, I think there was a lot being asked early in the year offensively from you and Manon, people that had really good years last year, but now we're starting to see some of the other lines come together and score some of those goals. How great is it to see some of those newer players and newer faces in the score sheet to support the effort that's going on at the top?
Yeah, obviously it's super fun whenever people are scoring goals, whether it's defense or that third line or freshman or whoever it might be. I think they also play a super big role aside from scoring goals. Like, you saw Lowry's line shut down Ohio State, which has a crazy good third line. So coming from players who played barely any minutes last year, like, that's just remarkable and so fun to see. Like, it gives you so much hope in, like, the way that our coaches prepare players like that and develop players. And regardless if they're scoring or not, it's fun to see them in such big roles.
It's pretty natural that as you score goals, you gain confidence. to not necessarily counted on to score 10, 15 goals a year, but then once you started scoring, how much more confidence you got? Can you compare yourself to some of those players that are starting to get that confidence midway through the year here?
Honestly, not really. I scored as a freshman. I've been on second line my whole career. So, I mean.
There was a time, I guess, when you were younger, though, like before when you had, like, Gabby and stuff.
Yeah.
When you were, like, the true, like, relying upon upperclassmen. And
Yeah.
how much confidence you gained as a freshman when you started to see the puck go in the net?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fun seeing the puck go in the net. It's fun being able to be that secondary producer. Like, that's a fun position to be in. It's cool to see it now, like, as someone who is relied upon, like how much pressure was on Gabby's shoulders in those moments, on Kleiner's shoulders in those moments. Like, it just gives me so much more respect for them for like what they were able to do in the moments when they felt like the whole team was relying on them. But yeah, obviously, as people score more, they gain more confidence.